Hello everyone and welcome to our second prompt. So you've probably watched Rachel's video by now and you will know that the prompt is either a garden gate or a secret door. So a garden door or a garden gate. One thing I just want to say quickly is Rach kind of put the message in the Facebook group. You've got to be careful with going too far away from the prompt, because what we've noticed in the past week or two is that people are doing a whole lot more than just the prompt, not just sticking to the wildflowers, and you're actually crossing over with some of the future prompts. So for example, today being the garden gate or the garden door, we've already seen a few of them. So I'm not sure what you're going to do for the next 2 weeks. You could work on your background, you could build up your wildflower garden further. It's up to you, but just be careful not to go too far off the prompt, because we will be doing some of the obvious prompts for gardens. Some might be a bit different than what you were thinking, but some will definitely be the obvious things. So the one thing I did want to say though, and Rach will agree with this, is that we've seen a few cottages and a few houses. Don't worry about that because it's not one of our prompts. So you're in the clear if you've done that. Okay, so this is where I'm up to with my wildflower garden. I finished off these and the daisies and the flowers and my poppies. I do want to add some more flowers and build this up a bit more, some more greenery. So I'm just looking for something to show you. Here it is. Just in my book where I sketch out ideas. Don't know if you can see this very well. I said I was going to sketch out some of my ideas. So this is going to be my door, which is coming from my field of wildflowers, and then you're going to go into my door, which goes into my actual garden. So I do plan on stitching down the garden path along here. On the end, I'm going to do some decorative things, and then mine will pull out from this end. So our lovely friend Vicky, hi Vicky, she had the great idea that she's going to attach her her stitching to her spool from the opposite end. I'm going to do the same, Vicky. I'm stealing your idea but giving you full credit. So this was just me sketching out some ideas. So you can see I've got a lot more flowers that I'm going to add in. I'm actually going to add this in. I've stamped, am I in focus? I just have some little hemming tape and I have stamped on it wildflowers with, it was just a distress ink, walnut stain. So I've stamped that on. I'm going to stitch that down, and then I'm going to show you what my door is going to be. I've actually already done a little, oh, so sorry, I just popped the camera. So just stop you from wobbling. I'm going to stitch that down. I'm just not going to stitch it down until I've done my lettering, just to make sure it fits. Not sure where. Could you, actually, it might be nice there. But anyway, I'll play around with it and then I'll stitch that down, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing with my, I'm doing a door, not a gate. So just to show you where I'm at, I have added all of this. I've done the invisible stitch, the tiny little stitch, and then I just cut out a piece of green. Now this is all hand dyed stuff again. We had a dye session yesterday, so, and this as well. This is going to be my path, so when you come through my gate there's a path, and then I'm going to build that up with some beautiful flowers. And this is some more hand dyeing. It's a piece of hessian I'm going to stitch down like it's grass. I'll stitch that down soon because I'm going to show you what I'm doing with my gate. Where's my gate? I've lost my gate. Where have you gone, gate? Here you are. Oh, not gate, door. So I've cut out this beautiful fabric that Rach gave me. It's an upholstery fabric. That is going to be my door, and it's actually going to open. So when you open my door, you'll see my path and some beautiful flowers. And I'll be backing it with this striped fabric. I'm actually going to embroider something on here, but I'm going to show you that later because it is a future prompt. Okay, so that's going to be a secret for a little while until we're up to that prompt. Now what I want to do with my little door is I need to have a stone wall going around it. So I've cut out some little bits of brown fabric. Some of them were hand dyed, like these ones. And what I'm going to do is create a wall. So they are similar shapes. I have not measured, I have freehand cut. So some might, oop, that one will get ironed and stitched down, but you'll get the idea. Some might be longer, some might be taller, some slightly wider, etc. So these are going to go around my door like they are different pieces of maybe sandstone. Like I was looking up Pinterest for ideas. Go-to is the Pinterest always. I always go to Pinterest. And I was looking up French garden doors and French garden gates. I saved a lot of gates and a lot of doors, but I decided to go with the door. Okay, so I'll just continue going around so you can see how this is going to work. So that they will just slightly overlap. Keep going. Hopefully I've cut out enough of these, otherwise I'll cut some more. Okay, we are getting there. Might need to cut just another one or two maybe for the bottom. Yep, I'll probably need a couple more. Okay, so you can imagine, have I got any more over here? No, I'll have to cut some. So you can imagine that that's fully done and these are going to be stitched down. Okay, and then what I will be doing is attaching my door, which will run just inside the stones, and I'm going to have a sign on it that says shut the gate, no, shut the door, keep the door closed, something like that. Okay, and a little latch and two little things here so that you will be able to open it up and see what's inside. Alright, so that is my plan. I've already done quite a bit of stitching. I don't need to show you that because it's just the invisible stitch and you've seen that before. I will start stitching a bit of this. I don't want to stitch, no, I do want to stitch. I'm going to stitch these down. I'll show you these stitched down tonight. And then I'm going to work on my door, but I'm going to come back and show you my door and the inside of my door next week. But what I do want to show you before I do some stitching is Juju's work. So I'm going to pause you and come back in a sec with Juju's work. Okay, so I'm back and here is Mum's work. So as we've mentioned to you, Mum is doing a wall hanging, not a scroll, not a spool. And this is a really good demonstration of the fact that you can go anywhere you want on your textile art. Okay, so it could be your scroll or your wall hanging or your book. Nothing has to be in order. Okay, so I'm going to show you. She's got a garden here with lots of hanging berries. I'll show you this up close in a sec. Mum, are you doing a title across the top?
No, down the side there where that plain bit is.
Okay, so down the side here where the plain bit is, Mum's going to have her title. So she's just doing some garden work. A lot of it's wool, well, most of it, it's all wool embroidery, isn't it?
Some
Okay.
cotton.
Some cotton, mostly wool, but some cotton. Okay, so these are actually, these are wooden beads that Mum's wrapped in wool. Okay, and it gives it good dimension. And then she's got the Canthus style stitching, getting background put down, and she'll continue to work on this. So she might add although Mum, you've kind of added a bird. We're not up to a bird prompt, but anyway, who knows? There might not even be a bird prompt. Okay, but Mum's already got a bird in here. And then some more flowers with some turkey work, some ribbon embroidery, mostly wool, bit of cotton in there. Just lift it up so you can see. And then, sorry, excuse me, sneezed. And then this is these are Mum's wildflowers. So you can see there's a lot of different types of flowers that looks like dandelions, some wheat, different things like that. I'll lift it up again so you can see it. So just making sure you're in focus. In here, Mum's got a bit of Solvay that will come out, that little bit of plastic. It's what you can do to, there's a little bit under there too. You can draw your design or trace it onto Solvay, and then you can pick some of it out and then spray it and with water, and it just disappears. Okay, so Mum's wildflowers, sorry, just focusing you, are just there. And then over here, she's put down this house embroidery. Have you added to that, Mum? Yes, the roof.
I changed the roof because I didn't like the colour.
Didn't like the roof. And the chenille, you've added the chenille as well.
Yeah, chenille, and I've actually blanket stitched.
Blanket stitched around it to stitch it down. Yeah. Okay, so I can't get the whole thing on screen because the camera's not big enough. But that's Mum's work in progress so far, and she will just keep adding. So she's doing it on, this is just a piece of old crushed calico. Okay, and she will just build up her layers. Everything here is either hemp or linen in the background so far. Okay, so give you one more look. Only just a little bit of embroidery on the bird so far. But she will continue to work this. This will have more stitches than anyone else's, because Mum literally gets up in the morning, 6 a.m. she starts stitching, and she doesn't stop stitching till she goes to bed. That's what she does. All right, so hope you enjoyed seeing Juju's. I will come back with mine in a minute and show you how I'm doing my sandstone arch. All right, so I'm back with my block, and to show you what I've been working on, here's my arch, my doorway. So really simply, all I'm doing is using a mustardy coloured Appleton wool, the thin one, and I'm just doing the cantha stitching across. I'm doing about 3 lines across, and then I overlap the next piece, and on these ones I just curve them around. And if you have little straight bits, like you can just see that little one there in the corner, all I've done, well actually there's just a loose thread there, all I've done is just given it a little snip to just round off the edges a bit. So it's actually working out nicely, I think. It's kind of the look I was going for. So I'm just going to stitch this one down and then show you how I add the next piece. And the other thing I did is I just couched a bit of cheesecloth, dyed cheesecloth along the edge there to sort of line the edge of the path. Okay, so I'll just show you how I stitch. It's just a running stitch. I'm doing about 3 stitches across, and then coming back the other way. And I'm doing, unless the piece is wide, because I didn't measure, like too wide, I'm doing about 3 lines before I add the next piece of fabric. Okay, so my 3rd line. They are not evenly spaced, they are not perfect, but it all kind of blends in the end, so it's not a big deal. Okay, so I've stitched my 3 lines. Have a look at what colour could go next. This one. Just lining it up. I'm not pinning anything. I'm just placing it on. And then getting that first stitch in. And just to show you, I've overlapped it. Okay. So again, 3 stitches. And then down to the next row. All right, so let me show you up close. Okay, so I will finish this. I've got maybe 3 or 4 more pieces to add in. And then next week I will come and I will show you my door put together. I will line that up. I'm just going to line that up and blanket stitch around it. Put a couple of door hinges on where it's going to open and maybe a little doorknob. And I was thinking of putting a sign on the door. Okay, so then you'll open up the door and inside will be the entry into my garden. So there'll be some pretty flowers there. Alright, so I'll probably do a bit more work on the wildflowers as well. So I feel like this is coming along nicely. You can see the wildflowers was quite a wide block. This week is just the door. So, and like I said, I'm going to add another prompt on the inside, which I won't show you. I can't remember what week we're revealing that one, but I won't show you that. I will film it though, and then I will show you it when it's time for that prompt. Okay, so that demonstrates how your prompts can be anywhere. You could add a second prompt in here. I'm putting 2 prompts into this door, etc. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed watching what I was doing this week, and I will see you again next week where I will finish off my door. One other thing. I did want to embroider a wild rose over the top of the door as well, so that's something else I'll work on. So a lovely wild rose flowers coming up over the top of the door. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.